This is as spontaneous as it gets, which means it should be a short episode, but let's see. Never count on me to keep it short when I'm talking, even if I tell you I'm trying to keep it short. Actually, that's usually a good sign that I'm not going to keep it short, but this is an attempt. Hey, I'm Steph Rubio, your go to for no nonsense chit chat on growing a business and life that you actually love. Around here, we're rooted in who we are, even if we're still learning to love her, getting clear on where we want to go, and we're relentless in our pursuit to get there. We're clawing our way out of survival mode and learning to bet on ourselves. We get into the nitty gritty of growth in life and in business, money, identity, boundaries, healing, leadership, parenting, partners, and all the messy bits in between. If you're ready to grow on your own terms, laugh a lot, possibly cry a little, maybe laugh until we cry if we're lucky, then hit subscribe and let's get into it. This is Rooted and Relentless. Grab your notepad and hold on to your tits. This one's for you. I actually have a client meeting in less than 20 minutes, so I just need to record this and hop off. It's been on my docket to talk about because the theme keeps resurfacing, and I'm in the middle of something right now and I have a great example. What I'm talking about is, let's see what you guys want to call it. Some people call it manifesting. I'm not really worried about the title that you give it or the description. I want to talk about the nuisance and the magic, if you will, that can come from that taking action or living like the person that you want to be in a year. I happen to call this planning ahead and strategy, which is what I do in my business and support other business owners in doing. But I'm going to give you a real live example. I have a couple of those. The podcast, what I'm doing right now, talking, is actually one of those. The mic I'm talking on right now, if you watch this on YouTube, you can see it. If you're listening in from wherever you listen and you're not watching, you will not see it. It's a Quadcast HyperX mic and it has pretty little rainbow shinies on it. This wasn't my first podcast mic. My husband actually surprised me with one a couple years ago. And in my branding photos in 2024, late summer of 2024, I used that podcast mic in my branding photos, even though the podcast was not on the docket. I just knew I wanted one day. I decided to just throw in some photos with that podcast mic so that I would have on brand photos when I launched the podcast. And what do you know? Here we are. It's not always about purchasing. I was already in the middle of something. So it's thinking about that next identity, what you know is going to come, even if you don't have all the details yet, and taking action to plan accordingly on that, right? And just moving like that person you're becoming. Another example I'm in the middle of right now, I'm building my mastermind community, the very first 10 folks that I'll welcome in the next month. And here's a couple things I want you to know about how long I've been working on this and leaning into that next version of myself, what I've been able to obtain and do and prepare for because I knew I wanted to do this, even though I didn't know when. I have become somewhat friends with the owner and creator of Coaches and Company. I have a contract when I have a new one-on-one client that covers all the legal fund, what we'll cover, what we won't. We call that cover your ass in the industry. It's a cover your ass document, a contract is. And naturally, we all need those. So when I got ready to purchase that last year, when I started my one-on-one containers, I went to Yasmin at Coaches and Company and I purchased her template for $400. Fast forward a couple months, we have talked over time, and Yasmin asked me for a video testimonial that they wanted to use at Coaches and Company online. I say yes to these things. I believe first in good karma. So I'm about to lay out the why so you can understand there's a next level strategy in everything I do. My brain is constantly thinking about the why, how things connect. And I've learned the very valuable lesson of, yes, planning ahead, being strategic, understanding what you should be doing, where you're spending your time and your money, etc. So when I did this video testimonial, it was really about good karma. I understand social proof. I understand how impactful and important that is to a business. And I understand how much I've wanted it. And so I always try to take the time when someone asks me for feedback or review to do what they ask. If it's a video testimonial, I can spend that couple minutes. Absolutely. I believe in good karma. I do this often to people that I haven't had a business exchange with, right? So fast forward, I supply the video testimonial to Yasmin and through the process, uploaded it to the Dropbox that they had and everything, and then went on about my merry way. As a thank you, this is the part I didn't expect. Yasmin and the team at Coaches and Company offered to let us get either a session with Yasmin, like a coaching session live together, or a template from their template library comped for free. So like a $398 value, I think. I just been saying 400 because I'm going from memory, but it might have been 398. So I was like, ooh, I could use a template. But at that point, that was much earlier this year in 2025. I knew that the group program was going to come to life this year, but I didn't know if it was going to be group coaching or a mastermind. There are slight differences there. And I had been talking to my audience and the people who were asking for this kind of community to narrow that down just in the beginning stages of asking and doing that kind of market research and trying to figure it out. So I just took a leap thinking it might be a mastermind, knowing it could also be a group program. Because at one point I was actually leaning towards a group program for myself and how I like to show up, but listening to what people needed, I was hearing mastermind. So I just took a chance and I thanked Yasmin and I said, I'll take the mastermind template for free. Now I am getting ready to open my cart and I'm going to welcome the first 10 founding members in. And all I had to do when it got to the terms and conditions to cover my ass legally and also all of my members to make us feel safe, protected, and covered was go grab this template that I got for free from Coaches and Company and put it into my terms and conditions, edit it, and I was good to go. So let's peel back really quickly everything that one little action did for me for caring and saying yes to someone who wanted to put social proof out in their business. Because I took that time, Yasmin offered something in return. I took it even though I didn't know what I would need. I was just thinking about this future version of myself and knew it was going to be one of those and this future version of my business because I have plans for the next few years. I'm not just working day to day and week to week and month to month and living on a prayer. You do have to start to get strategic in where you want to go and what you're going to do to get there and what the future of that may look like. Even if you don't have anything else, I had no idea what the price would be. I had no idea I would cap it at 10 members. I had no idea about a lot of things, but I knew there was going to be something. And so I started moving in that zone. It also saved me money. I ended up saving $400. I didn't know that. Now that I'm launching my program and there's other costs associated with it, like the hosting software that we'll use, I'll pay for that. I'll pay for marketing. I'll pay for a couple other things. And now I don't have to pay for anything legally because I have been operating as this next version of myself for a year now. Try it. You might like it. Okay, bye. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Rooted and Relentless. If it made you laugh, nod along, or grab that cute little notebook of yours and scribble something down, please hit me with the SSR, subscribe, share, and review, as in leave a review. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram at virtually_Steph Rubio and tell me what you're reading this week. Seriously, I live for a good book moment. Thanks for hanging. Bye.